Would you start, please?
أمير المؤمنين start. Then I will.
I welcome you to ask any questions you please, as many as you like.
Thank you very much, Your Eminence. Actually, as I said yesterday, that I come here to find out about Jama'ah Ahmadiyya after I've heard a lot of wrong saying against them. And as a Muslim, I want to find out why these people say this thing and why, and to clear my conscience that I have found about all the mazahib. My mazhab Muhammad ibn Idris, al-Imam al-Shafi'i. Then I said, these people, all Pakistan, I haven't heard an Arab say anything against Ahmadiyya. Never seen any of the Arabs say anything against Ahmadiyya. Or they don't care, perhaps. But all are Pakistani, which I knew them. They're not my friend. I knew them. We met in the mosque, and that's all. And what make me come in, not for any purposes, but I want to find out. Then until I come in, this is my third day, I think. And Your Eminence yesterday said, when I asked you about مؤسس الجماعة الأحمدية حضرة Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, whether he was a Nabi or Rasul or I think
what he was.
And you sort of think. And I have heard the thing, but if I seen the video, maybe I'll be able to comment more.
But that's of course.
Then I would like to know if there is any proof. I'm not coming here as munazara. I'm not munazara.
No,
I'm sorry.
You don't have to.
I told you, see, because maybe
don't have to apologize, please. No.
I'm not munazara you because I'm not. I haven't got the power.
Even if you had come from munazara, I would be ready.
No, I'm not coming. I'm not coming from.
I know.
I'm coming to find
a
fact to find.
Come just to find facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if there is any proof that Hadrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad
was true.
alayhi salam
Was true.
Pardon?
Was true.
No, there's proof that Allah spoke to him, as you say yourself, you know.
I'll do that.
And what is the proof of that?
Correct.
Just to make me, you know, convince me.
That's right.
You see, because
I'll explain.
you have to accept the thing when you are convinced, you see.
Yes.
Then maybe you join. But
Yes.
if you don't convince, you can't. You see?
You, of course. You see, you have raised so many questions incidentally.
Yes.
Although you, in the end, you developed one question. But as you spoke, questions began to arise here and there and there.
That's right.
So first of all, let me inform you that it is fortunate for you that you have as yet not met an Arab who speaks against us. But they are professional Arab mullahs installed here and there
The shuyukh.
by many governments. Shuyukh, that's
Yes,
right.
and I read something which
Yes, that's
written
right.
against
And they are very bitter.
Yes.
The only difference between them and the Pakistani shuyukh is this, that Pakistani shuyukh tell them about us and they accept them. I have not yet found a single Arab who himself has studied Ahmadiyya and became the enemy of Ahmadiyya, because they do not know anything. So as such, when they hear things, then they are charged with the hatred and the will to destroy Ahmadiyya, which they cannot, of course. But the reason why they do it is because they hear. Not even read. Whatever little they read is from the pens of the enemies.
Politics.
That's right, of course. But again, I remind you of one other thing which you mentioned. He said, I have come here to investigate. The most important...
Not investigate,
of course,
to learn.
To learn, that's okay,
Yes.
okay, learn.
Yes,
And to be satisfied.
that's right.
You see, when Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam inquired from Allah رب أرني كيف تحيي الموتى.
قال لم تؤمن.
ولم تؤمن.
ولكن اطمئن قلبي.
That is
That's
it.
what I'm coming here for.
Exactly.
That's what I told him.
And that's what I'm telling you now. I know this. So no problem. Itminan qalb will come from Allah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
It comes from heaven. It doesn't come from Munazara at all. It only descends from God. So He will descend that, because I know you to have a true heart. As long as you have a true heart, there is no fear. Absolutely. Allah does lead such people to the truth because they belong, and you will not be satisfied anywhere else. I assure you this. Do whatever you may, once you know us, it is to find people for which you have been yearning throughout your life. And you will never be happy elsewhere now, unless you belong where you actually already belong. The Ahmadis, apparently new converts, but who come to me from all nationalities. Recently one came from Canada, and he only came during the Ramadan to spend a few final days of Ramadan with us. And what he told me was this: look here, I'm apparently new, but I have a sense, a feeling that I have always belonged here. Only I was late finding where I belonged. So this is what happens to all true people with the grace of Allah. But I have other things to tell you, inshallah, but after he is translated.
Inshallah.
You know, he is a young man learning translation.
Yes.
And we both support him, don't we?
Of course, I have to. I didn't say أي شيخ عربي because there is a lot of Sheikh Arabi which talk against Ahmadi.
Any Arab, normal, common man.
But man like me.
That's what I understand.
But all
Ordinary
the
Arabs.
Shuyukh,
That's right,
they
yes.
talk bad all the time.
This is
And I
very
read
bad.
about them.
That's why I said I know there are many shuyukh who will talk
He
against us.
say Shuyukh, but
He didn't say shuyukh.
no. Okay.
So listen to him very carefully.
Shuyukh they are.
Yes.
Even this which I give it to has
So
been given
this is
to
a
of
beautiful difference which he has noticed. Among the Pakistanis, you don't have to find a sheikh to speak against us. Pick any Tom, Dick and Harry and he will start talking against us. But among the Arabs, it is only some shuyukh which speak against, but the common Arabs are not concerned. Either they are not concerned or they are better in their attitude. Why should they start speaking against anybody without personal knowledge?
That's right.
Is right?
That's right.
That's right. So the next thing which he pointed out was that he is really in search of truth. That's all. My first answer is that truth can be sought not only through arguments but also through other means. One way of finding truth was mentioned by Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. He said the tree can be recognized by the fruit it bears. Now, if it is a bitter, poisonous tree, it's impossible for the tree to bear delicious, healthy, palatable fruits, good to look at as well. So if a tree is bearing good fruits, however much you hate it, you can't change the character of the tree. You can't call it a liar. And because Masih said it, Hazrat Masih alayhi salatu wasalam, so I thought it should apply to the second Masih as well. Now from this point of view, you see the Ahmadis here and there, and you have already met many. And here apply one principle which is accepted by all the Arabs. لَيْسَ الْخَبَرُ كَالْمُعَايَنَةِ. لَيْسَ الْخَبَرُ كَالْمُعَايَنَةِ or mu'ayanate as you say it. So to see is something and to hear is something else. So if you see people in action in ordinary life and you do not notice any signs of their behaving like non-Muslims, like the enemies of Islam, like the followers of an apostate or one who attributes things to God, then why? If it was a liar who founded this Jamaat, what was his purpose? The purpose was either to serve the cause of the state or the cause of God. No, a liar cannot make good God-fearing people who in their ordinary life are not only good but better than others. Common people, pick any Ahmadi and compare him with the similar type of people elsewhere. You can even after a while begin to know yourself. Seemahum fi wujuhihim min athari sujud. This is one truth which is visible, and this is what the Holy Quran tells us about in Surah Al-Araf. And people think they don't know those people would be, who would recognize people. I believe it will be Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam waladhina ma'ahu. They would be given a higher status. Before, people will be either directed to heaven or to hell, and they will watch and see people and recognize them by their signs. And to support this, there is a hadith. Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us that on the day of resurrection, I'll recognize my ummah. And people inquired, how would you recognize? Because of the noor on their faces.
The noor, not the alamat salah.
Noor.
Yeah.
That's what I know. In this hadith. But in the Quran, it is said Seema.
Seema.
Seema. That's right. So Seema of Mu'minin is noor.
Yes, noor.
And the Seema of the non-believers is darkness. Tarakhum zillah.
Yeah.
So that is the one way of recognizing truth and finding it. To see the fruit and judge the tree by the fruit. And this is the best way of recognizing. Because if you do it like this, then you become a Siddiq. Remember how Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu recognized the truth of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is reported that when he was not there when he claimed to be Prophet from Allah, he had gone out somewhere on some business. When he returned, his old maid knew that he was very friendly to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So she was very worried. If he learns that he has started claiming to be a prophet of God, how he will suffer. He would really be tortured to learn that this man has gone as if out of mind. So she started breaking the news slowly, like you tell a child of a dear mother's death. Oh, poor Abu Bakr, you know what happened? Oh, Ibn Abi Quhafa. He said, what are you talking about? What happened? He said, your dear friend, Muhammad. So what of him? Don't know what he said? He says, I'm from God. I'm his messenger. He claims there is no God but Allah. Abu Bakr left everything, went straight to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he didn't address him as a prophet of Allah because as yet he had to find out. He said, "Oh Muhammad, did you claim?" Now Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam also loved him so much, and he didn't want him to be wasted. He thought if I broke the news suddenly, he may not understand. So he said, "Look here, Abu Bakr, I'll tell you what I mean and how it happened. No, I don't want any detail. I don't want any proof. Just tell me, did you make this claim or not? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Did you do that?" He said, "All right, yes I did. Accept me. I didn't want to blemish my faith by inquiry." He said, "This is why I was asking you. I didn't want any proofs. I know you, and you are the proof of yourself. No better proof can be sought." This is exactly what Hazrat Masih Maud has said about Hazrat sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, Agar khahi, it's Persian verse, but I think we understand what I'll explain. Agar khahi, dalili, ashiq ashbash, Muhammad has burhan Muhammad. If you want an argument, a proof and evidence in favor of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fall in love with him. Because beauty is the proof of beauty itself. Muhammad is the proof of Muhammad. So this is what we have to learn. But there is only one way which applies to limited people. And of course the course of inquiry continues. Tamaniyat al-qalb is sought, sometimes even by the prophets. Avalam Tomen was the inquiry from God. He said, of course I believe. وَلَكِنْ لَيْتَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي. Al-qalbu is muannas nahi hai?
No.
The two things are the pairs are muannas, and the single is muzakkar in organs, human organs. Hand is muzakkar or muannas?
Muannas.
Huh?
One is muzakkar.
Yet
One is muzakkar and the two are muannas, or other way?
No, in qalb one is muzakkar, but many qulub is muannas.
Qulub is muannas.
Yes.
No, but I'm talking of a different thing. I read once a rule in the grammar which said that all the organs which are in twos belong to one tense, and all the organs which are singular, they belong to another tense. So, like eyes, like hands, like feet, like nostrils, ears, they all belong to one tense. And the singles, one head, one qalb, one nose, one qalb, they belong to the other tense. So this means that singulars are always masculine and that doubles are always feminine.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
That's right.
Right. So anyway, that was incidental. So Itminan qalb is something which descends from Allah and comes with prayer. Now this is just a preliminary discourse in answer to him, and I would like him to trust his eyes more than the ears, because خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ عَلَّمَهُ الْبَيَانِ is a declaration which applies to the human nature. It doesn't mean just to speak. Bana yabino means one differentiates. So in every human being, whether he is a Muslim or non-Muslim, God has created an inborn faculty where he knows the truth from the falsehood. He knows the day from the light, or from the darkness, or day from night. So this is bayan, which is the most trustworthy means of reaching truth if you are fair and unprejudiced. Only then bayan works, otherwise not. Now the truth of a prophet, whoever he is, has to be universal. If a proof of a prophet applies 10,000 years ago, for instance, or 7,000 or 5,000 years ago, the same proof should be sufficient to prove the truth of a following prophet. So that is why the Holy Quran has categorized the proofs, spoken in principles. This is the true proof of the prophet Abraham. So the same is the proof of the truth of Noah. The same is the proof of the truth of Moses, Jesus, and so on and so forth. So that is my introduction to the answer which I am going to give you. We must refer to the Holy Quran and first determine what are the proofs. Otherwise, if we judge a claimant's truth, somebody who claims to be a prophet, if we start judging him from our hearsay or from our own categories which we make or concoct ourselves, that will not be trustworthy. The Holy Book, Quran, is a perfect book. It comprises everything that we need. So now, after this translation, I'll turn to the Holy Quran and present to you proof after proof after proof.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. By which earlier prophets were proved to be right. So also, Hazrat Mirza Sahib would be proved to be right, inshallah, and you'll see.
I'm sure he was his cause was a good cause, because he's following you and the old people talking about the good cause of Islam.
That's right. Yes.
So he's not talking against Islam, he's talking for Islam.
That's right.
And good cause. Yeah, but what?
Why should
you're
an
gonna give it
imposter?
Yeah,
No.
I know you're doing a good thing, and he make a principle or constitution, Islamic constitution. There is no doubt about that. Nobody denies it. But the proof, which you're going to give it to me afterwards, inshallah.
Islam وتعاليم رسول.
This is not what I said. Of course, even at the time of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there were many who were against the Islamic teaching. They were munafiqeen, this and that. Nobody can claim, it will be a lie if I say that you can't find any Ahmadi against practicing Islam deficiently or badly or misbehaving in Islam. That's not right. But on the whole, al-Amiyyin fil Ahmadiyyin are much better looking Muslims, and they behave like Muslims far better than any other sect in Islam. You can see it on their faces, the truth and kindness and gentle behavior and all the sima of truth are visible on their faces. That's what I said.
Yeah.
But of course, everybody has some hidden defects. Allah knows best.
Yes.
You can't claim. La tuzakku anfusakum.
No.
Huwa a'lamu biman ittaqa.
You cannot generalize it.
No, you can't generalize. That's right.
The lady.
No.
The lady.
He was not in Mecca when Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made the claim that he was appointed by Allah as a messenger. He has gone out on some business of his. When he returned, he didn't know what had happened behind. So his old maid servant, who was, right from the old times, she was there in the house, I remember almost. She was afraid for Abu Bakr. She said, she thought if I told him what had happened, it may shock him. It may, make him ill or do something. That's why harm him. Yes. So, often alayhi, she started talking of this and that, slowly, gradually breaking the news, like you did to little children whose mother is dead, or some mother if her child is dead. So Abu Bakr was surprised. What are you talking about? What do you say? Oh, please, Abu Bakr, oh, don't mind, this. And this happened. Tell me what it is. Then she told him, your dearest friend has lost his head. He is claiming this and claiming that. He immediately departed, and that's the rest you know.
أن أشوه بيعتي بالجداء أو.
The first thing Abu Bakr said, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمد رسول الله. Then Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah explained why, and he explained. He said, I didn't want to accept you through arguments. I know you are true. I didn't want to blemish the quality of my truth, my faith.
That's what they call him as-Siddiq.
This is Siddiq. The first verse which was taught to Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in proof of his truth as an address to others is the one which I am going to recite. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فقد لبثت فيكم عمرا من قبله أفلا تعقلون. I have spent a full lifetime among you. Don't you understand? Don't you have any logic in you? Now this is the greatest proof of every prophet's truth. It is not just applicable to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah. is applicable to all the prophets of Allah, because they were to stand witness to something which people could not directly hear or see. So they had to be known as in the society to be absolutely true people. But that is qabla dawa. After dawa, everybody calls them liars. But 40 years were spent by Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the society, right from the childhood. He grew among them as a child, as a boy, as a young man, in his 20s, in his teens, what was it called? Teenager. And then he grew stronger and stronger until he reached 30s and 40s. All these 40 years, none had found a single blemish in his character. None had ever found him telling a lie. He was never blamed for one. So the proof is that, have I gone mad? What has happened to me? For 40 years I lived among you, and you know that I never told a lie against an ordinary human being. Why should suddenly I transform into something so vicious that I should start telling lies against God? Now this is a proof which also is applicable to Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. He lived a long life of about 40 years or thereabout among the people of India and Pakistan. Now it is Pakistan, previously it was all India. And he worked among them, he sat and lived among them. His life was an open book for everybody. And till that period that he reached the point where God told him to declare that he is a prophet of God, not a single person ever claimed that he was found cheating, he was found lying, he did this and that which was against the dictates of Islam and so on. Not one blemish. If it were cast against him any blemish, where is the proof? Why didn't the people of his time present written proof of publications and this and that, or brought evidence that, look here, why do you say we never blamed you? Yesterday we blamed you of this, and the day before we blamed you of that. All your life we have been censuring you for misconduct and lies and this and that. Not a single voice was raised. Even now when you read the literature, anti-Ahmadiyya literature, you will not find any proof of the enemies, now turned enemies, pointing out at his falsehood, his lies, telling people that, look here, he is a habitual liar, so he made a lie. So if this proof is valid in the case of other prophets of Allah before him, then it should be valid about him as well. Why should you make a differentiation between him and others? About Hazrat Saleh, his people said, Kunta marjuwan fiya. People were looking up to him with hopes. And suddenly, he started telling lies. Now this proof is not as simple as it seems. It is much more profound and widely applicable in so many spheres of human activity. Now, if a man reaches the age of 40, which is when the youth begins to decline, before that he has passed through a violent age of desires and voluptuous urges and this and that, and if he stands firm, it is not just a question of telling lie or telling truth. It is a question of the whole character of the man being true. If he cheated others, everybody would know. Everybody would say, okay, he cheats. Or if anybody had ever blamed him for cheating, suddenly they would say, what do you mean, 40 years? We have been blaming you for cheating every now and then. If he had usurped the rights of the poor, if he had hurt the feelings of anybody else. So I'm talking, the Holy Quran is talking of not just one aspect of his truth, that is telling lies or telling truth. The Holy Quran is talking of him as a man in every activity, in every sphere. And in answer to this verse, there is not a single Arab reported of his time who said, yes, we blamed you for this and that. He was called Amin, he was called Saduq. Yes. And all the good names were given to him. So now coming to Hazrat Masih Maud, this is applicable to him as well. He spent his life in Qadian and elsewhere in other cities. All the important people of his age gradually began to hear of him and his piety. And the Hindus lived next door to him. He spent his childhood in the streets of Qadian, the small village. Everybody was watching him and seeing him because his father was a great man of that area. So Sikhs, Hindus, Muslims came from all sides to pay their homage to the chief of that area. And they used to see him. But what they reported was simply this, that he always moved with the poorest of children. He brought his food from home and distributed it among the poor, hungry children. And many a time he bought a few ounces of grain. You know, that solid, some round things. What do you call it? Grain? Chana? Huh? Hummus. That is such. Yeah. And he would eat that, and that would be all. Then it is reported by some of the Sikhs that once a Sikh leader came to meet his father and he inquired about his Mirza Ghulam Ahmad as a small boy. He said, I always see other members of the family, where do you hide him? Where do you keep him locked? I never saw him, but I have heard of him, there is a boy. He said, all right, you want to meet him? Go to the mosque. Maybe he's rolled up in one of the mattings of the mosque. He lives there. So what did he do there? Why did he move among the poor people? He never inquired about what he shared in the family property. He had no knowledge whatsoever. He was not interested. All he did was recitation of the Quran, reading the books of other religions. He read all about Christianity from its sources. He read all about Buddhism, about Hinduism, etc. And this was his dedication, this was his obsession. He spent all his life preparing himself for the defense of Islam. So why suddenly such a man should start behaving so audaciously, so wantonly, as to start claiming that God had spoken with him while he had not? If he had done that, then he would be the worst man on earth. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَىٰ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. But if he was a worse man, then why should he continue to suffer for the sake of a lie, without rhyme or reason? You see, to claim is something else, but how the claimant is treated by the society is quite a different thing. What happened to the Prophet happens to all the Prophets, and did happen to all the Prophets earlier, was this, that in the first place, as the verse speaks, they spent a very pious and very worthy life of gentlemanliness, as you understand the word. The very best of this meaning, they lived up to the expectation of gentlemanliness. And then, when they became popular, when other people started hearing of them, when they began to look up to him, one night they received a revelation from Allah that I appoint you to address the whole world on my behalf. And the second day, they have lost all their popularity. Why does a man speak a lie for becoming unpopular or for gaining popularity? Have you ever found a man who has not stolen anything and something is stolen in the streets, or people are talking about who has stolen this, and he tells a lie. He says, I have stolen it. So that people should rush at him and beat him and punish him. And even then he doesn't tell them, oh, I was joking, it's nothing serious about it. Why have you taken seriously? I have not stolen. So a liar always speaks for some advantages, never for the sake of disadvantage. And this is the second proof which supports the truth of all the prophets of Allah. A popular people whom the society is looking up to, looking at with expectations, loses all friends except one or two exceptions coming from here and there, like Ali radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu came, like Abu Bakr accepted him, like Ibn Masud did, but they were small exceptions. The rest of the society had rejected him altogether. What was the purpose? Now, if he was not from God, Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah, then he was the man who knew there was no God. Right? Who else could be had a better proof of non-existence of God than the false claimant of the Prophet? That man has to be the biggest liar on earth and the biggest atheist. He should know that if the enemies are overwhelming, he will be completely crushed and destroyed. He can have no courage whatsoever. If you have none at your back, none to save you, how can you enter roaring into a jungle, abounding in beasts? Nobody to help you, nobody to care. How can you attack an army being alone? An army which is thirsty for your blood. So this is the state of all prophets of Allah. More so of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah. He claimed and the whole society turned against him. If he was a false man, then he knew better that there is no God who can save him. He said, I don't care. I am bound to emerge victorious. Do whatever you may. Try whatever you can. I will emerge victorious. And he does. Look at Jesus Christ. What support did he have? How many fishermen had followed him? Altogether 30 or 29? And yet he never wavered. Put me to cross, whatever you may. I am going to emerge victorious and you are going to be defeated. And what do we see today? Christianity has spread all over the world, dominating all the continents of the world. So this is the second proof of the truth of prophets. They claim of victory when there is no reason whatsoever to believe that they can become victorious. This is what Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani said. He said, you left me alone. I know. But God says to me, tells me, that they have rejected you. But God has not rejected you. And He will see to it that your message spreads reaches all the corners of the earth. Now what do you see today here? One man in Qadian whose voice was to be suppressed by the whole family in which he was born, by all the ulama, all the society around him. He said, no problem, no question, I will not be destroyed. God has told me I will carry your wife to the corners of the earth. Now this MTA is a proof. The only Muslim television in the world which sprang as a fantastic, new addition to the world of religion, which is dedicated to the spread of Islam, while we are a very poor community. There are huge wealth like mountains lying under the feet of oil kings. They couldn't do it. And this voice, the voice of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, is now being carried to all the corners of the earth. What sort of liar that he was? He was one voice. And that was also drowned in the noise and tumult of that period. And now he's spreading. So that is the second category of truths mentioned in the Holy Quran, but I'll come to them later because there is so much to be translated.
Yes.
Or would you like to translate now? Very little time. Let's pass on to another. Because then you can translate together in one piece.
Yeah, the best way.
That's right. Now, another verse of the Holy Quran speaks of the confrontation of a small, apparently weak, unaided claimant and the rest of the society. And the proof of his truth, which is mentioned in the Quran, is أَفَلَا يَرَوْنَ أَنَّا نَعْطِي الْأَرْضَ نَنْقُصُهَا مِنْ أَطْرَافِهَا أَفَهُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. Are they blind? Don't they see? At every confrontation, you, the holding the largest possible majority against a single man or a few followers of it. Every time you come to clash, your ground is narrowed. His ground increases bit by bit. But it always happens that he continues to grow bigger and you continue to grow smaller. Afahumul ghalibun, will such people become victorious who lose grounds? So when has Ahmadiyya lost ground against all the enemies? We have confronted all the religions of the world on behalf of Islam. In Ahmadiyya you will find the prophecy of the Holy Quran fulfilled. لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ هُوَ الَّذِي بَعَثَ أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. Who is making a concerted effort, not dependent on any money which is received from powerful rich people, but money which is collected by the community members themselves? Show me one Jamaat in the world of this character. And this is the sign of the truth, that they, the weak people, they begin spreading and nobody can stop them. And those who are proud of their greatness and their majority, they begin to lose their majority bit by bit, bit by bit. So ultimately, those who gain, they must become victorious. Then the Holy Quran speaks of the people who follow prophets, true prophets, and presents them as the proof of the truth of the prophets whom they follow. Because the covenant they make with the prophets is impossible to be made by liars. So the people, a prophet attracts around him, gathers around him. They also must be true. And they must carry the proof of their truth. Then it is not just one man's truth which stands witness in his favor. It is the collective truth of all who gathered around him. How can you test the truth? Only by sacrifice. That is why the Holy Quran says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَىٰ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُم بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةَ. Why should God put believers to such trials? Leave your property, your wealth. Come offering your lives. If those who called to answer the call of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah were false people, then they could not have sacrificed whatever they had. They abandoned their sayada, they abandoned their wealth, they abandoned the tribes in which they were held with honor.
Abu Bakr left all he got and what he left for himself, her family.
Exactly.
تَرَكْتُ لَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ.
That's all. Everything. And came running to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah. So the truth begins to spread and give birth to truth. That is another sign that the truth multiplies. and the falsehood begins to disappear. So Hazrat Masih Maud, when he claimed all who gathered around him, if they were rewarded by some monetary advantages, some honor, some worldly wealth, etc., then I would not believe in him, because it never happened in the history of prophets. Whenever prophets call people to their path, you have to pass through fire. You have to pass through streets where they stone at you. You have to pass the roads on which there are highway robbers. And nothing is safe for you. Even your parents turn your enemy. Even your brothers become bloodthirsty. Your sisters abuse you. Your mother says, run away from us. Don't show us your face. How can a man suffer this trial with success if he has not seen the truth? So they become the proof of the truth of the claimant because of these sacrifices. Otherwise, God is not the enemy of those who believe. Why should He make them suffer so much? Because for the truth to emerge as truth, it is essential. And the quality of life improves when you suffer for the sake of truth. Now, did this not happen in case of Hazrat Masih Maud? This is the question. Find out. It is happening now in Pakistan, elsewhere, where Ahmadis are made to pay sometimes with their lives, sometimes with their honor, sometimes with their property, sometimes in terms of sacrifices of their dear ones, just because they claimed, they accepted the claim of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. Why so many? Hundreds of thousands now, reaching 10 million people in the world or more, who come from all shades and all walks of life, from all colors, all countries, all continents. They say, yes, we are ready to offer everything in sacrifice, but he is right. Is this not the proof of the truth? The truth has strength, has power. It proves itself by making people offer sacrifices continuously. So such people are either mad or true. There is no third option. That is why the enemy was left with no option. They started calling Hazrat Muhammad mad. And those who followed him, Sufaha. Why? They were the wisest among them. Because they knew such sacrifices cannot be made by people unless they were either true or mad. And they because they denied their truth, rejected their truth, the only option left was they have to be mad. So we are mad people. We're sitting before you. Okay, next time inshallah.
Next time, yeah, I have some comments as well.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Next time, and you give him the videos
Yes.
or cassettes, you listen to them.
I wanted the video.
Yes, video. We will give you video.
Inshallah.
Listen to them very carefully.
Yeah,
And
because
next
I want
time
to
you
sit
come.
and read and make my comment, you know.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I love that
Next time, yeah.
attitude.
To be quite honest, it's الكذاب عدو الله. Those who tell lies are enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right. Absolutely.
And some people come in and they swear by God, by the Quran, that I don't like to swear anything. Because Rasul Karim Sallallahu say anybody who swear he's a liar. Because if I tell you a story, whether you accept it or not is up to you.
That's right.
I'm telling you this. Okay. And I am always, since I've seen this Ahmadiyya MTA, I'm always like magnetic, except me to watch it every day.
Alhamdulillah.
And I become like addicted to it, you see. That's fact, you know. But I'm still wanted to be convinced.
Of course I know.
Because
you will be,
you all
inshallah.
say this thing, but I'm still, because I seen big mashayikh, you know, which I don't believe in them anyway.
Take your time.
Yeah. I must be convinced, you see, because this is conversion, you see.
There is no hurry.
And
there is no hurry.
No hurry, but I must sit and
one
study.
thing, one condition. The death is not in my hand or in your hand.
No, it's not of Allah. Allahu Alam.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the Holy Quran says, وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. So
Why am I here?
there is no hurry but one.
I want to find out.
Yes. So
to see if you are right or the other
Right.
people right. Or
the answer to that lies in the Holy Quran. In the prayer, Rabbana wa tawaffana ma'al abrar.
Mal abrar.
So continue to pray, and I'll pray for you as well.
Yes,
So
I
then
hope
there is
so.
no hurry,
I hope so.
no danger. Okay?
So, everybody now make dua from Allah
Yeah,
subhanahu wa ta'ala, but
That's right.
Allah said in Quran Kareem, يعني بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. Allah, if He knows you need this thing and you are mu'min, He'll take your dua. But if you are not mu'min, He won't listen to you.
Exactly. Sometimes
And,
he listens to the dua of mushrikeen as well.
yes, ما هو سيدنا إبراهيم said الله سبحانه ربي أجعل هذا البلد آمنا وارزق أهله من الثمرات من آمن منهم بقول له سيدنا إبراهيم الله says him ومن كفر فكلهم عبادي الله يرزق كافر and مؤمن.
The Holy Quran tells us that some people, when they are caught by storms in the sea, they pray to God.
Yeah.
Allah listens to them and accepts. Yet He knows that when they return to safety, they will start becoming the same idols.
لا شيء فلما نجاهم من البر.
Okay.
شكرا مولانا.